تذكر يوما كنت تعانق دمعة الفكر تناجي الله في صبر وترجو رحمة تسري فعاش القلب إخلاصا وصرت تحوم كالطير تحلق في ثقافات.
The righteous predecessors. So when a person says, I am a Salafi, I follow the way of the Salaf, they are saying, I understand the Quran and the Sunnah as it was understood by the Sahaba and those early generations. That is what Salafiyya means. It doesn't mean a group. Because you may have a group which says, we are the Salafis, but they may be doing things which are not in accordance with the way of the Sahaba and the early generation. They may be saying things which is not in accordance. So though they may claim for themselves, we are the Salafis, they are not. Or they're in error. We don't attribute whatever they say and whatever they do to the Salaf. Unless what they have done is based really in the practice of the early generation. Then we can say, yes, that is the way of the Salaf. There are people who say, Bilal Philips, he's a deviant. He's not a Salafi. He doesn't call himself a Salafi. Well, I am a Salafi. I do call myself a Salafi. I may not, on every occasion that I go to say, first and foremost, everybody know I'm a Salafi. No, not necessarily. Because some occasions I go into communities where people, what they know of Salafiyya is harshness, bad behavior, abandonment of people. So their whole image of Salafiyya is negative. So for me to go and say, listen, you all, I'm a Salafi, here's what I have to say. Once I said Salafi, their ear is closed. So what is the point? What is the value? Instead, I explain to them that Islam is the Quran and the Sunnah as understood by the early generations, which is explaining Salafiyya in words without using the single term. So don't feel, it is incorrect for you to feel, that simply because a person doesn't walk around with a badge saying, I am a Salafi, that they're not Salafi. In fact, when we talk to most Muslims, explain to them what this means, most Muslims will say, yeah, I agree with that, that makes sense. I'm one, But they may still have issues in their overall beliefs, etc., but they subscribe to it. So we should not be quick to cut people off the manhaj, label the mass of Muslims deviants, etc. No. If the knowledge has not come to them, because remember the verse said, وَمَن يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولِ مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى. Whoever opposes the messenger after the knowledge, clear knowledge has been made available to him, that is the condition. A person hasn't had clear knowledge brought to him. So how do we judge him? How do we deal with him? We have to deal with him as a brother or sister Muslim who needs to be educated. And we educate them. That is the way, in a loving way. They are our brothers and sisters. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. The believers are one brotherhood. So what are you saying when you don't want to have anything to do with them? They're not believers? So they're not a part of the brotherhood? No, this is wrong. This is not the way. The correct way is for Muslims to maintain the unity of the ummah, to correct the mistakes within themselves, to be patient with other people, to have other opinions and other preferences. But our job is to make the message clear to them. Just as our da'wah to non-Muslims is a da'wah of guidance, we provide information for them, but we can't make them accept. As Allah said, إِنَّمَا عَلَيْكَ الْبَلَاغُ وَعَلَيْنَا الْحِسَابُ. Indeed, what is on you is the conveyance of the message, and I will take people to account. That is Allah's responsibility. So let us, brothers and sisters, understand Islam in its original purity. The understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah as it was understood by those early generations, the Salaf. To try to apply Islam today in accordance with that understanding. And within that understanding is tolerance, flexibility, love, a brotherhood which kept the early Muslims together for the sake of Allah.